Hello one and all, I'm GrimpaulCheese and welcome back to Dark Souls. So, before we actually go down this doorway, which has clearly been broken down by some sort of giant menace, we're gonna go back. We're not gonna go back to the surface. I actually missed something, I completely forgot about something, and that's actually something I was referencing near the end of the last video. So if we go all the way back up to where the butchers were, or the person cosplaying as a Kappa demon and the person being a bird, I mean, we shouldn't doubt the mentally deranged, because in the end, if we do, they will try and cut us severely, and that is something we'd never really want to do. I mean, unless you're really into people cutting you alive. Cutting you alive? I mean, eating you and cutting you alive, like in, those movies! Those horror movies that are really bad, and in the 90s and 80s and so on and forth. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to jump down this hole. Now, down here is, in fact, where a monster is. The monster I was talking about lurks down here, and that's where we're gonna go. Also, I forgot to turn on the UI, so let's go down. Whoop. So we're down here now. Now, there's one thing we want down here. Now, as you can see, that's a giant rat. We don't like giant rats, not in the slightest. Now, what we want to do is we want to go over here and grab the item on that person, and then fight the giant rat of death. It's clearly of death, because what else would it be? So if we go over here, and there we go, we've got a spider shield. Now that spider shield is something that we definitely want and need. In fact, what's the stability on it? It's actually more resistant to fire than that, and that's even better than the night shield. So that's even good, but it's weaker to lightning, and it's lighter, but not as durable. That's perfect to me. It's resistant to poison. So, if you look at this, it's a shield of the savage mountain bandit, uniquely shaped with a black spider etched onto it. It has poison resistance, so we will wield it for the time being. It's a tiny shield. It's okay, I guess, but we are definitely going to upgrade it. It's one of the best hand shields you can actually get in this game. When I mean hand shields, I mean, it's not a great shield that's the size of your body. Now, what we want to do is now fight this rat. So we jump down and just give it a good old stab in the spine, and we took out half his health. Now, the thing we don't know about this rat is actually absolutely gargantuan. So what we need to do is chop off his tail, if we can. Oh, come on. No, you're not going to hit. Ow! Did it just bite me? Or eat me? Oh, no, it did not bite me or eat me. Not today, anyway. So what we could do is just throw a firebomb at it. Because everything's weak to fire, right? Okay. Let's slice it once. There we go, the rat is dead. Oh, that was close, we almost died. And the rat had on him humanity, because it's kind of like a mini-boss type thing. Because, to be honest, there's only one about rats in this entire universe. It's probably the mother rat. But look how smelly this place is. I mean, let's look at it. There's even slime growing on this wall. Oh god, I didn't actually mean to do that. Oh, god damn it. I didn't mean to use up humanity, I meant to drink an Estus flask. Oh well, I'm never going to get that again. But right here happens to be a sewer chamber key. Now that key in particular opens up a very specific place. Now I forget, if I jump down here, do I go where I want to go? No, I do not. Because as you can see, you would think you would slide all the way down, but it's actually a gap. Now that gap is somewhere we don't want to go. Well, not yet anyway. We want to go down, the only way we can actually go is through this doorway. Now this doorway can lead us to Wonder. And you can see there's pits everywhere. Now, we don't want to jump down any pits. Now, the rats are keen bastards right about here. They're going to try and lure us into traps. But we're going to kill them before they actually do that. Well, hopefully. And we need to watch out for holes in the floor. If we don't watch out for holes in the floor, that will surely lead to our death. There we go, he's now dead. Hopefully I can get a replacement humanity for what I just ate. Hopefully the word is. Now you can see there's a man right there that will instantly bite me as soon as I go out. Now you can see I triggered him, and now he wants my flesh. I'll show you the poison resistance. Look, no poison. Isn't it wonderful? I can fight rats without being poisoned now. To be honest, I've never heard of anything more beautiful than that. So, what's down here? What about now? Down here is more rats. Ah, now this is where we actually need to be. There's a lot of rats for a reason. They're absolutely massive, mind you. But we need to kill these things, because you can hear the beams of magic. It's clearly something really horrible. Now, we kill this rat. We killed one rat. Now, what we need to do is kill that magic man. If we kill that magic man, we might get his trident, but we need to do it because otherwise a boss will be incredibly difficult if we don't do it. What is that rat doing? I would like to take time here to look at this rat. It's got his arse in the air and kind of doing a handstand for the time, from what it looks of it anyway. So just pull out its... Ow! No! Bad! No! No giant rat bite me, ever. No poison. There he is. You see that man right about there? That man is not nice. He's slowly wandering over to me. And that rat... I don't know what that rat's doing. That rat is actually vaguely scaring me. Now, what we need to do is try and lure him over without those rats triggering. Because if we can lure him over, the better. Because a lot like the undead people in a church, these rats can do poison as well, and they've been buffed severely. Oh god, he's dancing! He is dancing! That is not good. Now, can we trigger rats? We can trigger one rat at a time, which is brilliant. Stab and stab! Fantastic! Oh, no being caught in magic. If you get caught in magic, we don't have a shield that can fully block magic just about yet. And luckily we managed to repulse the majority of the damage he did. Now, let's try and drag this rat out, away from that man. I'll treat you better, honest! I'll just disembowel you first! There we go. I guess it's more of a castration, I guess. But I've always drink this potion. So that man now is tired of my crap and will now try to stab me. Wildly and... actually more wild than he's ever done in his life. I don't blame him, really. Those rats were his treasures. They were his pretties, after all. Let's just stab him wildly. There we go. Now, will you drop me your trident? You will not drop me your trident. You're an unfair person. That's what you are. So, down there is a giant place which we'll go later. It's a nice, lovely place. As you can see, it's broken pillars and, well, giant pools of water. I mean, what's the worst that could happen in giant pools of water? Probably me being maimed by a bunch of tentacles. Most likely. Now, what we need to be careful is rats. Like surprise midgets in boxes. But these are not so midgets. They are tiny rats, I guess. They are midgets in boxes, really. Now, I believe there is something good over here, I believe. Is there anything good? Nope. I was lying the entire time. No, it wasn't. Here's something. A large Titanite shard. Now, we have not come across a large Titanite shard just about yet. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Large Titanite shard. It reinforces the +10 and reinforces +5 war weapons, which is actually kind of really good. So this in particular reinforces weapons up to +10 and war weapons up to +5. So actually the next tier of shards. So it says like the other things, Titanite shards are fragments of legendary slabs. Titanite is etched into weapons to reinforce it. But these ones are even bigger. It has so much Titanite on this and so enchanted that it makes things even stronger than they've ever been in their entire lives. I don't think swords can actually have lives, but I like to think they have their own breathing memories after all. I mean, not just as shiny and outrageous as any homosexual man. I mean, just ask a lot of, well, blacksmiths, really. Every sword has its own personality, so to say. Let's enter this white wall, because this will take us somewhere interesting, I presume. Now, where has this taken us? This has taken us into this pathway where we got a nameless soldier. Anything else? It's not a very pleasant place. I mean, now look at that. Look at all that goop just running down the wall. I mean, what type of person employs a janitor? Well, I don't think people employ a janitor down here, I don't think. Well, who would actually live with that slime running down the wall? I wouldn't. I mean, just look at it. It's so grotesque. It's probably sentient as well. So there's a rat down there, again, doing some type of handstand. I don't get rats in this world. They like doing their handstands. I mean, I don't blame them. Handstands are cool and all. Oh my god, there's a lot of rats. But for some reason, they're absolutely scared of me. Probably because I killed the big rat. Maybe, most likely. Oh, is that humanity? That is humanity. Huzzah! I replaced the humanity that I actually ate. I devoured it like a nice, lovely soul, because it tastes a bit like lobster. I never knew what lobster tastes like, but now I do. Because people were formerly lobsters. You can stop that. A good old shiv in the gut or in the butt, that solves everything. Another piece of humanity. Nice and lovely. Now we can break these. Like that. Then it's just disgusting. It's crap going everywhere. I don't know who in their right mind would, you know, try and break literally piles of crap. Now, gotta be careful. Rats in a corner turn into very violent things. So not actually let them stop running. If soon as I let them stop running, they're going to start biting my ankles and poison me. I mean, no one really wants to be poisoned or their ankles bit off. But either way, we've got our first real two-handed weapon. We actually have a Great Axe. Now, the Great Axe itself is actually pretty good. It requires 32 strength and 8 dexterity. Its damage by itself is 140. That's a lot of damage. And it's got quite good scaling. It's got C. It's not D, it's C. So if we look at the... Oh, no, I want to go back to it quick. Sorry about that. It's up here. So if we go all the way up here, we have... So the Great Axe is a vertible mass of iron. Its weight sends foes flying, makes it difficult to handle without superhuman strength. Any miss makes one very vulnerable, as each string requires a full force of the body. Well, if we look at it quickly, we can't use it, sadly, but let's have a look at it quickly. There we go. Look at that blade. I mean, look at it. That is absolutely gargantuan. It's bigger than my torso. So I'm not surprised that sends people flying. I wonder who on earth could actually wield this effectively, especially for my body type. I could never swing it. Let's try swinging it. So we can't do much, sadly, with it. It'll probably do 1 damage from just basically being landed in something like a slight tap. But either way, you could easily get maimed with that. Actually, I'm kind of curious. How does this compare with the normal halberd? The normal halberd is just... Actually, it's not much different, really, than the normal halberd. It's just a little bit more damage. It does 5 extra damage. So that's not too bad, at least. But the reason why we went all that way is to go up these stairs in particular. Now, these stairs, you may remember to being back here. Now, we got a sewer chamber key from killing that rat. Now, the sewer chamber key is, in fact, let's have a look at it, this. In any community, a few bad apples are sure to exhibit insatiable greed. If they were turned undead and banished to the depths, would they reconsider their ways? Use this key to see for yourself. Okay, so we go down here and use that. And then there's a bonfire all the way down here. Now, this is the only bonfire for a while, actually. So, if you don't get that, you're kind of in deep, deep trouble. Well, I would say so myself. Now, I would actually recommend no one, and I repeat, no one, to actually turn human in this place. This place is a breeding ground for invaders. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how many times I've truly been invaded in this place. It's absolutely awful. But, nevertheless, I'm actually going to in another video. But it won't be this video, I'll tell you that now. So, if we jump down here, if we get rid of all these boxes, quick. Now, if you see into here, this is where the giant rat was. The giant rat is no longer there. It's a one-time spawn, and once it's dead, it's dead. Now, I believe this cannot be opened from this side. That is correct. There's only one way you can actually open that, and that is by going down the exact way where we shouldn't go. Now, contrary to what I just said, I was going to do another video. I'm actually going to do it now. I'm going to turn myself human because I want an invader. Now, an invader is an NPC one. Now, NPC invaders aren't as bad as normal invaders, so to say, quote-unquote. I know I've got 14,000 souls, and I should really level up. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's level up a bit. So now, what do I want? I want endurance, because I want to boost up my equipment load and stamina. There's nothing wrong with that now, is it? So, we can put 2 levels into something. Okay, that's not too bad, I guess. So we managed to... Oh, actually 3 levels, mind you. Sorry about that. So equipment load is now 54 instead of 51. Yeah, it's not as bad, but it's still kind of bad, I guess. So let's take it anyway. It's better than nothing. So now we can actually summon, like, random people across the world. As you can see here, we have this lovely lady who doesn't have any pupils. She's kind of scary, to be honest. I don't want to summon her for anything in particular, because... I'm sorry, if you don't have pupils, you're not going to be my friend. There's just one way for you to not stop burning me! God damn it! Also burning me. Don't burn me, don't have any pupils, and there we go. That's... Well, actually, if you don't have pupils and you burn me, that's one way not to be in my good books. Now, the invader I want is because I want a certain armor. Now, there's a certain invader where if you get him to invade you 3 times, he, in fact, will... Now, that rat's going to go after me. Yep, there he is. Yeah, if you get him to invade you 3 times, he gives you a set of armor later on. Now, there's 3 locations he does it, and this is one of them, down here. There's a rat in there who horribly missed me. Luckily, I saw it coming because I've already been through this area. Now, he's going to jump down because he's ever so scared, but it's all to lure me. But he decided to go against it because I'm so close to him. So he's kill these rat people. Now, I believe... Oh, you git! Stop dodging! Bad rat! What if animal wasn't dodging? I have no idea. I guess I just don't want to die. I don't blame him, really. Dying's not the best thing, really. So if I go down here, if I go back to where that mage was, I believe that's where that mage was. Down here. I believe somewhere around here the invader is. I cannot be sure, actually. Actually, I can't remember where the invader exactly is, but I know he's somewhere around here. Somewhere. There's rats everywhere. It's an absolutely horrible place. I don't know who on earth would breed some, like, mutant rats. And, ow, that was a lot of damage. That was, in fact, a lot of damage. If I didn't kill these instantly, we would have had a very horrible time on our hands. Now, I need to fight them one by one if we can. I think this is the best place to do it. There we go. Perfect. I managed to hit a lot of them right about there. So where, oh where, would the invader be? I have no idea, in fact. But I know he's somewhere around here. In fact, I may go backwards ever so slightly and run all the way down to the bottom and run all the way back up, because I think he invades right about here. Well, I believe he does. I can't be sure. Is it around here? I don't think it is around here. It's probably something that looks a lot like this place. I'm actually just thinking, where could that invader be? But the invader himself is called Nightthorn Kirk. Now, if I jump down there, I'm going to be in a very horrible place indeed. I don't want to jump down there just yet. I want to explore the place to begin with, and then I'll probably jump down to my death. I mean, it sounds like a fun thing, doesn't it? Jumping down to your death, it could probably be a good pastime. For about a few moments before you do actually die. Ah, there's a rat there. The rat who jumped out of the box. Stop it. There we go, he's now dead. Let's have a good drink. Now, I didn't go down here. Now, that's where you were. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, you need to not jump. Oh, you can jump down. Oh, that's fine. But he's trying to lure me down there. I mean, that's where death is, and I don't fancy meeting death right about yet. Now, there's a slime right about there. Let's just fight the slime quick. Now, this slime is a bit iffy, as I said before in another video. They just take forever to kill. But hopefully, they'll drop a special Titanite. They did not. Now, where is this? I believe I know where this is. But if I look down here, you can see that this is a hole that goes down quite a bit. I think I'm better going down the other hole, to be honest. Where the rat was trying to lure me into. So let's go to where that rat was trying to lure me into. Yes, you're going to get me nowadays. So let's jump down this hole. Okay, here we go. So now we're down here. Now we have to fight these things. Now these things can curse. Curse? Horrible. Never want to recommend it to anyone. Unless you really don't like someone, and I mean I really don't like someone. As you can see, they have giant bollockses on their face. If you like bollockses, then these things are definitely your fetish. And they also have giant eyes. I don't know why they have giant eyes and a giant bollocks for a face, but they do. And for that, they don't get my respect in the slightest. Now, there is something useful down here. Now, the whole reason of being down here is for a special ring. Now you see that man right about there? That's not an enemy. That was a player like myself in another realm, and he got cursed. And he will remain cursed until someone smashes his statue. Now, he probably got cursed because these little basilisks, that's what they're called, they will curse you. Now, this is a very awkward place to fight him indeed in that small little corridor, because you can see that little cloud smoke thing is a giant thing that will curse you. There we go, that's one down. Now, they do have a slight chance of dropping an Eye of Death. Now, an Eye of Death is a Covenant item. They're used for the Gravelord Covenant, and he carried his friend all to the grave. He kind of suplexed him, really. I mean, who on earth would suplex their friend is beyond me, unless you're trying to wrestle each other. Then why suplex? I don't know. People are strange in this world. But yeah, Eyes of Death. They're for the Gravelord Covenant. The Gravelord Covenant is a very interesting covenant indeed. You need to stop spitting at me. Spitting? Oh, get out of the cloud. Get out of the cloud. I don't want to be cursed today. But it's a very interesting covenant. It's about invading people, but invading people differently. It invades them by placing incredibly hard creatures into their world. Now, you may think, well, that's not too bad, is it? I mean, you're just putting creatures into their world. Well, it is and it isn't, really. You get more... I don't mean you get more souls, but it gives you a good challenge, but it's there for a pain in the arse. Now, can I jump across that? No, I cannot. But either way, I have now got this ring. Now, this will be the first proper ring I'll be equipping. This is the Ring of the Evil Eye. Now, the ring itself is quite good. It absorbs HP from fallen foes. Now, according to legend, this ring contains the spirit of an evil eye, a dark beast which assaulted Astora. The strength of the evil eye does not waver the HP absorbed from falling foes. So, if we equip that, we've now got his fingers. Now you can see that Eye of Sauron, that's kind of black and evil. That will now heal us whenever we kill an enemy. It's ever so slight and ever so tiny and minuscule, but it's better than nothing, you know? So if we kill this person, as you can see, we got healed ever so slightly. Or we will in a moment. I couldn't tell. As you can see, it's just that minuscule. It's not really worth noting half the time. Let's kill this thing right back. Yeah, there you go. This came out just there. So there's a good way to actually, you know, to preserve your healing potions, and this is an Eye of Death. Now, that's what I was talking about. These things are rare. So, online play item, lure items from other worlds, or lure phantoms from other worlds. The dreaded Eye of Death spread disaster across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host may end up as victims, allowing Eyes of Death to multiply and lead to further proliferation of Bane. So, if you can sacrifice them to one of the government people, and they get happy and give you things. I will, in fact, be grinding these eventually. The word is eventually. When I'm actually comfortable with my person and his build. So let's just kill these goddamn basilisks. There we go. We'll get to loot this person's body. Someone didn't get petrified, they just got clawed to death. Ah, this poor guy, really. And here's another person that got petrified. This poor fella. Ah, he got broken in another world, sadly. So, we can't break it. Oh, there's another person, he just appeared. So people are playing right now and getting petrified. What poor saps. Now let's see if I can get that lovely treasure across that gap. Sadly, I might need to take off all my clothes. Note to self, if you ever want to get a lovely treasure across a gap in a sewer, take off all of your clothes, strip yourself down to a thong, and in fact, just go... There we go! Now we got a humanity. There we go. Humanity is very useful, as I said before. Oh, God, I'm a gap down here. Let's run all the way back, shall we? I might be naked for a while, because... Yeah, clothes not suit... Go my way. Let's just get rid of him. There we go. Say we can't dive into him like everything else. Normal things in this game can be broken down. Look at that guy, he's floating. How weird. Guess he tried to jump his way there, but sadly he got petrified while jumping. Poor guy. But petrified is quite useful. Not petrified, humanity is quite useful. It is in fact very useful for covenants. Certain covenants individually. Some covenants require a lot of them, and some covenants, well, require a lot of them. It depends on how you really feel about the subject, really, of giving humanity to, well, random people you meet on the streets. I mean, it's a bit like drugs, really, but with humanity. So there's nothing over here aside from just a load of slime. I mean, look at this, pure slime. I mean, look at this. We just have to break it, to be honest. I mean, look at that. It's just disgusting filth going everywhere. Ah, hello, Mr. Giant Rat. Oh, it's more than one giant rat today. Very well, let's just kill a few of you. Let's cull the population of rats. Aha, there we go. Dark Knight Curse. Now, hopefully he won't attack me while I'm killing these rats. Hopefully he's a chivalrous man. And there he is. Now, Dark Knight Curse. You're a very nice man, aren't you? We do no damage to him, and he's going to do a lot of damage to us. He's going to do bleed damage. Now, we need to be careful. He's a very spiky man, as you can see. Now, this is what invaders look like, but this is just one of the few NPC ones, in particular. Okay, you're going to do a bit more of a slicey-slicey. Now, I'm being very careful here. I'm being careful where I walk, because he can break my block. He's down to half health right about it, or nearly half health. I just need not to take any bleed damage. Oh god, he hit me. He hit me. This could not be good. Oh. Okay, I need to be really careful and not too greedy. The 2 hits will do, and I block. Circle strafing is your friend when fighting NPCs. Unless I cast magic, then you just want to charge their face. It's almost dead. Almost. And then I can have a full right to die. Right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, he's... Oh, no, no. No drinking potions for you. And there we go. He's dead. We just killed our first invader, even though he is an NPC. We managed to kill him. Now, he will drop one of his 2 items. It will either be a sword or it will be a shield. What did he drop for us? He dropped, well, we required humanity. He has dropped a barbed straight sword. Now, it's a lot like our own straight sword, but it's got spikes on it. So if we read it... So, the choice of weapon for the infamous Dark Wraith, Kurt, or Kirk, also known as the Knight of Thorns for his gnarly spikes on its favourite weapon. This rifle sword only deals in thrust attacks and causes heavy breathing damage. Breathing damage? I mean bleeding damage. So, it's a very good sword. It's a lot like our own sword up here, but it's just not upgraded. In fact, if I wanted to, I could upgrade that and it'd be just as good as that. But it would actually inflict bleed damage and we could actually bleed things. As you can see, the auxiliary effects, I can't pronounce it right now, but you understand what I mean nevertheless. So it's 300. So that bleeding damage is 300 bleeding damage per hit. So you can make enemies bleed. That does not do anything. It's exactly the same weapon, aside from it has less scaling and less durability. That's just because of its spikes. That's not too bad. I think it just has more durability because I've upgraded it. Well, most likely anyway. So let's break these and see if we can get the rats inside. Unless the rats have already escaped. Rats have not escaped just yet. The rats are actually right there. Hello, Mr. Rat. Goodbye, Mr. Rat. I said goodbye. There we go. He's now dead. We've got 12,000 souls because we've got 5,000 souls for killing Kurt because he's just that much of a high-level encounter. Now, what I'm going to do for the time being is not go that direction. There's a slime right about there. Slimes are evil, as we all know. Is to run all the way up here and unlock this door. Because we encountered this door before, but it's locked from the other side. So we unlock this, we're back here again. So now we can go back to the bonfire and refill our healing potions, which is exactly what we'll do. So if we go all the way up here, and go to the bonfire, we are now back to normal. Now I can put on my clothes. Because I feel that I'm actually now safe. Oh, slightly anyway. I can still get invaded at the bonfire, but not as much as I would before. Because fighting people with armor in this game is just not... it's just not as good as fighting without armor, really. Because armor doesn't really do much, especially the armor that we got now. I mean, armor later on is incredibly useful and is a mandatory thing, but for now it's not too much of a problem. I mean, all we're wearing is basic leather and a bit of armor plating on our shoulder. I don't know why we don't have armor plating on our crotch, really. You'd think we would need it, but apparently we don't. We don't need a codpiece, we just need a good old, well, shoulder thing. Perhaps we dislocated our shoulder before. Oh, I forgot about you. You are not eating me today, good sir. Now you can see a power attack really doesn't do much damage. These things have an abnormal amount of, well, physical resistance. Oh, that was close. I got really greedy right about there. I was trying to... Oh, he dropped something. He dropped green titanite shards. I believe they can drop green, blue, and red. Now, green in particular can, in fact, if I go to here, green, this upgrades magic, divine, and fire weapons. But to do that, we would need a magic, divine, or fire weapon to begin with. We need a green ember to make that. I believe it is. No, we don't need a green ember. We need a enchanted ember. We need a white ember, and we need a fire ember, I believe, to get those specific things. But if we encounter any of those weapons, we can now upgrade it, which is fantastic. But here are some nice, lovely rats and more slimes. I'll leave the slimes alone for now, since I've proved my point of, well, what you get for killing them. But we also got a friend right about there. Now, that guy is a friend. You probably saw his shoes, or his legs, but I'll show you what they are right about now. It's this man. Hello. Now, this is one of the few NPCs in the game. Now, this man in particular is incredibly useful. I can see he's wearing glasses through that weird helmet of his. It's not really a helmet, it's more leather with a bit of horns on it. I'm very scared about that slime, but I don't think that slime can get me here. But nevertheless, we'll talk to this man. If the slime does go past those bars, I shall wait to see what a slime will do. Can it go through those bars? No. Oh. No, it can't. Okay, that's good. So talk to this man. Hello, sitting man. You seem to be meditating.
Aye, sure, I'm meditating. I'm Don of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
So he's a trinket man. He's a very useful merchant, a very special merchant, and we'll probably talk to him later in the game. He sells actual boss armors when you kill bosses. So if you kill like a humanoid vaguely boss and he has a special armor that you like, well, you can gain his armor by talking to this guy and buying it. Sadly, he does not have any armor. If we go here, he has his own armor, which is actually quite good. His armor in here is actually very expensive, but it looks very, very interesting. And it actually is worth the money, I would say so myself. But I would say so anyway. I mean, what do you want? A helmet of the wise, the armor of the glorious, gauntlets of the vanquisher, and boots of the explorer. I mean, just those names alone wants me to get those. So he also sells just standard bolts and so on forth. He sells actual crystal armor. Now, crystal in this game is very, very interesting. Crystal is a type of weapon that, well, it says here anyway. A fully crystallized straight sword. How such a weapon was created is entirely known. The crystallization boosts its attack, but the blade itself is brittle. The sword cannot be used for long as it cannot be repaired. Now, it's the same thing goes for the greatsword, and the same thing goes for the shield. The shields themselves are very good, but they're one-time use things. Like, once they break, they break. Now, we haven't encountered a weapon to break just about yet, but these will if we ever use them for too long. Because you see, the durability of them is 60 for these weapons. 60 is not too good. Not too good in the slightest. Now, he does have a bottomless box, which allows for inventory management, which we're not bothered with, and he's got lightning. Now, he sells lightning for the upcoming boss of his area.
That is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again. I'm always available.
Oh, I know you are.
There'll be more in store for us someday, sometime.
Now, he does a bit of a hint at, hey, if you come back, if you find me later, after you kill a few bosses, I've got more to sell. He's kind of an interesting guy, and he also moves locations a lot. He moves, I think, into another location, but when I mean a lot, he only moves once. So let's talk to him, actually. So let's actually talk to him what he knows about the place. So what do you know about this place, lovely, lovely man, with your lovely, lovely horns and your shiny helmet?
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
You don't see anything here? It's probably if you wore a helmet with slits for eyes. If you can actually have a good eye side of him. And you can see, he can't see. Not in the slightest. If he took off that helmet and actually wore, like, some type of hat, like mine, where I can actually see through it ever so slightly, he could probably see. Now, is anything else?
I'm afraid...
No, he doesn't. So,
well, that is a shame.
He doesn't really have much to say to us right now, so we'll just leave him be. Now, we want to kill this slime, because this slime is a pain in the ass. And will pounce us as soon as we come back here. Sadly, these slimes do respawn, as you probably have noticed. But, it's best just to get rid of them as soon as possible, really. Did he drop anything? No, he did not drop anything. So, up here is, in fact... here. Right, we're here now. Now, this, in fact, is the place I was talking about all the way up there. We were all up there once, where that mage was. And if we didn't kill the mage, any enemy we encounter down here will be incredibly... well, I repeat, it will be incredibly harder to kill, because all enemies will have a 20% bonus attack damage boost. Now, that does increase stability damage, too. Stability damage is your stamina bar when you're blocking. That's stability damage. So if we jump down here, I'm looking for a specific item. Now, somewhere around here should, in fact, be a crossbow. Now, where on earth this metallic object of wonder is, I have no idea. Is this it? I believe that... there we go. We've got a heavy crossbow. Now, the heavy crossbow requires a lot of strength to use it, I believe. So if we quickly look at it, it requires, yes, 14 strength. Not a lot of people who use bows and stuff like that have much strength. So this is actually quite a good bow in itself. It's actually one of the best bows. I would say it's second best bow, really. It's a large, powerful bow. While bows require two hands, crossbow is held in one hand, but arming it each bolt takes time. So basically just using it like every other crossbow. But you don't need to manually aim, because lock on and go pew. It's beautiful like that. And it does 5 more damage than the other one. Now that extra 5 damage means a lot, believe it or not. Because depending on what the area you do, it depends on the modification of damage and so on and forth. It's a whole giant system which I won't get into just about yet. So, what we'll do is, we got a bunch of signs right about here. We got this person here who seems to be Lautrec. I believe this is Lautrec. Then who is this? This should be Solitaire. Yes, so we can choose Solitaire or Lautrec for the creature that lurks into here. Now you can see there's a lot of steamy poop right about there. But we don't want to go down here just yet, because I want to end the video first. So, I will see you later, and next video, we'll fight the boss. So, goodbye, and take care of yourself.